finally made it.
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
It was 300 gold! I've spent a lot more in this game. Alright, now we can go back. And we can finally get that recipe as well.
We've reached our destination.
Yes! Hmm? Right. Very nice.
I do not like it. That's the only thing I can add to this.
Yes! Right.
Just a minute.
Great! What? Yes! Great! Whew.
Hey.
No way!
Oh? Hey.
Sorry. How? Amazing! Yes! Hey. What? Very nice.
Alvin! She owns stuffing bread with marble curry! Now I can eat this every day.
Jeez, Sheila, you're hooked on that stuff.
Very sorry, but I'm very particular about my owls. And I need to find each one of them.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
There's no point in reading it unless you plan on making it.
Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo. Hoo hoo hoo.
Goodbye.
Hoo. Maybe something's going on in the forest.
I know there are 40 owls. So.
I think Hootle senses something.
Yay! First silver trophy, and it's for owls. I still love it. Nice.
Well, most of the perches are filled up now. Frankly, I'm amazed there's so many of these guys.
What cautious lives they must have lived. They deserve credit for their vitality.
They're all so lovely individually, but I think they look downright awe-inspiring. And so many of them are gathered together in one place.
I don't know. It's hard to relax with all of them eyeballing us at once.
Yeah, I guess owls do seem to stare.
You've done well.
He's at it again.
Come on, you know you like it.
Frankly, I never thought you'd gather so many of us.
You are so quick to rescue those in need. You have given us a big, happy family.
We're on the brink of extinction. We must work together if we are to change our fate.
You carry a heavy burden.
Don't you worry. We can change fate. You won't be alone. I promise.
this isn't just your fight. I'm here for you too. I want us both to be together.
That was you interpreting for the owls, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's nice to see everyone getting along, but perhaps we should be moving on.
Just who was that conversation between?
Try not to think about it too much. Besides, there's still a few empty perches left.
We've come this far. Why stop now, right?
Hey, Hootle. Once we've managed to gather all the owls, after that...
Huh? Poodle's just staying with us. He has to. Alright, let's see for a bit. Ooh, farmer clothing. Ah, this is amazing. Ah. Oh my god. I have to give her the violet tiara. Just. I should literally just give him this hat. Why? I don't know. I just want to. Kind of cute. Absolutely amazing. Oh, this is why I love this game. It's so stupid and yet so great. Alright. Let's actually head back to the story for a bit.
Ah, Calaglia. Feels like it's been ages.
And wasn't Zephyr with us too?
Dad.
Hey, chin up! This is your hometown.
Everyone around here looks so much happier than they used to.
I'll say. It feels like an entirely different place. I suppose it's had time to adjust to its newfound freedom.
Zephyr would have been so happy to see this.
Yeah, he really would have. Especially if he knew Law was... Law? Something bothering you, Law?
Nah, I'll be fine. It's just, you know.
It still weighs on you, doesn't it? Running away back then.
I abandoned my home. Then when I finally come back, it's been liberated. What's important is that it's free. I get that, I do. I just... I should have been here.
Alright. Break the good news to Nath. Oh dear.
Just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head to...
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Dahnan disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegis.
Lenegis? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Well, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renan invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. But there's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way.
Yeah, well, we probably tried to kill him.
Hmm?
All right.
I guess...
Right.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kinda out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cyslodia.
Calaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Dan and owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby. Whew!
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings ended up looking like a colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors? And his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels! Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile!
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hootle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
Let's see.
We should be able to cook here.
And camping.
I came out great. Everyone's gonna be real surprised. After mastering countless recipes and gathering enough ingredients to last a lifetime, I finally cooked my greatest, grandest masterpiece. Mabo Curry! This is a specially made, one-of-a-kind batch. It contains only the best combination of spices, chosen after a lot of trial and error.
Your...
Spices.
I think I'll have some later after everyone else. I'm not that hungry right now.
You sure?
It does smell pretty tasty now.
The heat from the spices is intense, but not persistent, so it's easy to go back for seconds.
You're making a good case for your curry, Alphen. What the hell? Serve me up!
Oh, wow. This is actually good.
To be honest, I'm a little scared how my stomach will handle all these spices later. But they really do bring out the flavor.
Indeed. The spiciness has been so finely tuned. Why, I dare say you've made true art, Alphen.
Right? I knew you guys would like it.
Like it? I love it! This is delicious, man!
Law, really? Don't talk with your mouth full.
There's plenty for everyone, so eat as much as you like. Rinwell, mind if we chat a little?
You're still awake?
I've always been something of a night owl. Ever since back when I was someone's property. Turning in for the night only made the next day come quicker. I wasn't in any great rush.
Sorry.
What about yourself? Care to share something from before I knew you? You were part of a mage clan, right? Must have been handy being able to rely on magic for everything.
Hardly. In fact, not at all. Magic's not so special when you're not allowed to use it. Always scared of who might be watching?
Right. Sorry about that. I guess I've read too many fairy tales.
We were still made to study it every day. It doesn't make any sense if you think about it, studying the very thing you're being persecuted for. But that's what we did, just like our parents and their parents before them. Honestly, I don't even know how far back it goes.
If memory serves, mages have been the stuff of legend for ages. Even as far back as 3 centuries ago, they were myths. Your people were persecuted even before the Renans got here.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the less it makes sense though. I mean, it was Astral Arts that let the Renans dominate Dana, right? Why didn't mages end up being the rulers of Dana then?
Maybe they tried, but they just didn't have the numbers. Or maybe domination just wasn't something they were interested in. Have you ever considered it might have been something like that?
I guess I haven't.
I wonder why magic alone attracted the attention it did. Swords can be just as lethal in the right hands. Why not ban them?
My best guess? Swordsmanship can be learned by anyone. Magic's more of an exclusive club.
When something's not easily obtainable, it's hard to comprehend. People are scared of what they don't understand. And fear leads to persecution. So the problem's not magic. It could just as easily have been anything.
Yeah. Night, everyone.
I'm sure I got all of that.
I want to go back to bed.
It's quite hot here. The climate feels different from Menancius.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were burning holes in us?
Right.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
Little help!
Take this! Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
No choice. Take this! Not a chance!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Mind if I do?
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship, and fast!
Huh.
Rising Wyvern!
Anything in order! His head covers when it calls up!
You're mine!
Pierce evil! Now!
Take this!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Shut!
Well done!
Come and face me! Rising Wyvern! I can carve through armor!
More where that came from!
Make it rain!
Doubling!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
My turn! Slap shot! Rising Wyvern! Stardust!
It is now! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! I've never seen so many bullseyes!
I couldn't have done it without you.
You!
Not on my watch!
No escape! Stardust!
It's a duel of the arts!
Mirage!
Take this! Where are you going?
I'm free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Make it rain!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Shut!
Well done!
You're mine!
Lunar blast!
Rising Wyvern! Stardust! Eat dirt!
Dance in the wind!
I'm gone! Make it rain!
Doubling!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
An opponent like this should be easy. I'm not done!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Here I come! Slash!
You have to aim for the bright area on their back!
Make it rain!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Shut!
Well done!
No armor can stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Here I come! It's over! Rising Wyvern!
Lost!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Now! Here I come!
Now you see what I can do!
Steel force! Lion power! One at a time! Now! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go!
I feel sprightlier than before.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me. You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much.
Little help!
Take this! The flame inside inside me yearns to be let free!
Now!
No escape!
Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! A flawless victory.
I'm not done!
Naturally.
You got fire!
Going in.
All yours! You're mine!
Now!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Well then, let's keep moving.
This will be a delicious piece of cake! Hold on to your arms! Here I come! Their hide is thick as always!
As impressive as always.
And here I hope that isn't true.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Xion flag behind your uses!
I'll show you how useful I can be!
Do it!
No escape!
Lost! Demon's Descent!
Flashing bang!
My turn!
Radiant
You're on!
Take this!
You're
Now!
mine!
Astral energy! Full throttle! Go!
A comfortable win.
My face is starting to sting. And my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Xion? Oh, wait. I bet you're hungry more than anything, aren't you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
I'll smash you!
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Make it break!
Astral energy!
Say no more! That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had.
That is actually nice.
No choice!
You got
Rising Wyvern! This one's all mine!
Strike!
Do it!
It crawls up!
Get out of Frozen!
Hammer!
Nicely done!
All thanks to you.
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly! We managed to turn the tide!
For now, innocent shit, that's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Guys, I'll leave it to you! Rising Wyvern!
You fight better at a distance.
The further away, the better.
You and I both.
Where are you going?
Maelstrom! Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern!
Seems about right to me.
Gotta break through! The flame inside me
Don't mind
yearns
if I
to be
do.
let free! Rising Wyvern! Damn it! Are those rockets? You picked the wrong fight!
Now!
Next!
As impressive as always.
Their weak point!
Here I hoped I wasn't clear.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
The enemy wields art too.
You'll soon see about that.
Rising Wyvern!
Astral energy!
Say no more. Shut!
Well done. By the power of water, Steel Force Flame, reload!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
This one's mine. This is it.
Here I come.
Back into the fray.
Going down.
Take denied. Now, annihilation. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Is every shield you own that big?
Here, you want to try holding it?
Ugh. How do you even walk with this thing?
That equipment should come in handy.
Do my best!
Armor won't save you!
You're mine! No escape!
Where are you going?
Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Not in your dreams!
It's over! Flash! Portal Blade!
Lunar Arc!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Now!
This calls for a celebratory drink.
No choice! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu. Yeah, if only I were a cat. I'll do my best!
You're mine! Rising Wyvern!
Astral energy! Illuminate the dark! Come
You're
forth!
finished!
Holy glimmer! Holy
Here I
light!
come!
Nothing
Flash!
by me!
Rising Wyvern!
Corruption!
Soda!
Now!
My turn! Cut! No escape! This time! Take this!
Lightning
Portal
strike!
Blade!
This world!
Do it!
Soda!
Get behind me!
Disasters made right! Going in! Feelings of purity! Leave the enemy to send this to me! It's mine!
No complaints here!
This one's mine!
Piercing roar!
No escape!
You fight better at a distance. Further away the better.
Doubling!
All yours, Kisara.
Looks like we came out on top.
We just need to make sure we stay there.
Right. And without totally overdoing it.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
think the enemy's getting desperate.
Got them where we want them.
Don't take your hands off.
As impressive as always.
Make it rain! Run and rip!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
This could be useful.
Callous. Calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
I won't forgive you!
Ignite!
Going in!
Come one, come all!
My armor won't save you!
Take this! Mirage! Strike! Lightning Wyvern!
Havoc!
Swallow Blade!
An astral art?
Make it rain! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
My turn! Take this! Mirage! Here I come!
Dohalim!
All yours, Kisara!
Now! Take this! Mirage! The flame inside is yours to be left free!
Do it! Get toasty!
Bird strike! My turn! Mirage! Take this! It's over!
Now! I'm out of astral energy! Full throttle!
Sometimes I wonder where you come up with those moves.
I could say the same to you.
Good thing we're on the same side, huh?
No choice! Take this! Strike! Swallow Blade! Stardust! Take this!
No more playing nice!
You're finished! Rising Wyvern!
The flashing parts are weak points!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern! Here I come! I'm not done!
Look sharp! Do it!
You're still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Right here! I got it!
I'll smash you!
I'm the shot!
Blue escape!
Do
Swallow
it!
Blade! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you, Law. No pushing anyone, not even as a joke.
I'm not a little kid!
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not... necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well.
I won't forgive you!
Blue escape! Rising Wyvern! Stardust!
Radiant energy!
Burn!
Hurricane foot!
Here I come!
Do it!
Swallow Blade!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Nicely done!
Swallow
All thanks to you.
Rising Wyvern!
Take that!
Annihilation!
Here I come!
I can carve through armor!
That's an interesting stance.
It's part of the Renin style.
A style made of both sides.
Well then, let's keep moving.
Now it's over.
No choice. Here I come!
Swallow
Blade! Rising Wyvern! Here I come! Rising Wyvern! Start up! Take it! You're mine! No escape! Rising Wyvern! Start up! Take it!
Do it!
Thunderstorm! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Well then, let's keep moving.
Go no further!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Start up!
Lightning orb!
It's over!
Do
it!
Cascade!
Far enough!
Blast!
Go for the
Rising
weak point!
Wyvern! Start up! I'm not done!
Great! Looks like you got this one covered. It's weakened!
You picked the wrong fish, then?
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
No escape! Rising Wyvern! Start up!
Make it rain!
Xion! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go!
Mind if I pointed out that Earthfall usually says
Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
and I've never heard it. So now, heard it now.
I won't forgive you! Going in! Now you see what I can do!
No escape! Start up! No escape! It's over! Forward blade!
Here! It looks like you got this one covered for weak point.
Start up! I'm not done!
Not in your dreams!
You're on! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
No escape!
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
Time to feel some hurt! Make it way! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
That's what I like to hear.
Oh no. Yep. Hold it.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go!
Ow. Ah.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone!
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared!
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogle?
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Water, hear my calls! Thunder
You're
Beam!
mine!
Hold up!
Hurrah!
Hear me! Flame of Fury!
Take this!
Hang
Rising one!
Havoc! It looks like you got this one covered!
Hurrah!
Water, hear my calls!
I'm not done!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Air thrust!
Take this!
Photon!
You're courteous to help. And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
There you go! Don't let up! Yes, it's a win! Hear my call! Now, let's get
You're
it all
mine!
the way!
Blue escape!
Switch over!
What's in
Do it!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Shot!
Well done! Here!
Glacial Punch!
Radiant here!
Try harder!
One at a
Now!
time! Inferno
Take this!
crossing!
Flash!
This one's
Rising
mine!
Wyvern! Soda!
My head's spinning just watching you.
Hurrah! It's over!
Far enough!
Mega Ray!
Take this!
Gemini
Soda!
Alpha! Annihilation!
Here I come!
Mega Ray!
You're finished! Eat dirt! You're
Hang
mine!
slow!
No escape!
Armor won't save you!
Showtime!
This one's mine!
You're mine!
I'm only getting started! Illuminate
One
the
blade!
Got it! Do it! Now's our chance!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Here come more!
We'll just have to keep fighting.
This one's mine!
No complaints
Make it
here!
rain!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Reinforcements incoming! Not a problem! Igneous discharge!
Barbie annihilation!
You're mine! Rising Wyvern!
Look sharp!
Soda!
Lightning strike!
Hurrah!
Piercing
Take
roll!
this! Rising Wyvern! You picked the wrong fight! You're mine! Flash! Rising Wyvern! Take this! Strike! Soda!
Not on my watch!
Take this!
Let's keep up the pressure!
Rising Wyvern!
On guard!
Raging
Igneous
Storm!
discharge!
Here I come!
Lightning strike! First aid!
Here I come!
Where are you going?
Swallow Blade!
Anything in armor is all mine! Make it rain! Let me help!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique! Armor won't save you!
Not today! Here I come! You're finished!
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Arch sealed!
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
What would I do without you?
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Alpha!
Watch and learn. That's enough! Go back down!
Alright. Kind of anticlimactic.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, mostly because I had a cure at the last moment.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Oh. That's gonna take a while.
I still got a ways to go.
Let's see if we can find a starship. Let's search.
Hey, is that it over there?
Ah, there's our starship. Yeah, I want to see something for a bit. don't have any dark mains, but that's okay. Let's see here for a minute. That isn't really worth it anymore. Could probably better do immediately that one. Let's see here for a bit. Yeah, I think I still have the refined Ignis. Or do I not have that one anymore? Did I ever actually make that one? No, I didn't. I never made that one. That's annoying. Oh well, might as well just go for this one then. Instead. Let's see, what else? Probably that one. That's the best. Upgrade to everyone. Better stuff. Now. It's probably for the best. Skipping a bit and first do that one. Alright. That's nice. That's useful. Those are some really useful things. I should also invest in that one.
I'd like to check their wares, if you don't mind.
A bit early. So, save for a bit. Alright.
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave? We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
That girl is still hiding a lot. No one anywhere. Any help? Nothing. Ah.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Xion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Xion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Xion can finally get rid of her thorns. Xion?
Huh? Yeah.
Mouse as good as any kind of presser.
Where? Shion?
Where'd Shion go? How could she just go off on her own?
Well, she's at the starship trying to leave.
Shion. Shion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Someone's got some explaining to do.
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
Damn.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, You have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shionne, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
they will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renis Alma on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's too much. It's way too much. When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shionne!
Alphen?
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alphen.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen! We can fight this! Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shionne, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shionne is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shionne. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys. You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
That was honestly beautiful. Honestly. Scene of the game, actually. Wow. Just need a minute here. Ah. Whew. Oh.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in, then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Xion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the Blazing Sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renins. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Xion.
But then, I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Xion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Dahnans and Renins, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you, until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. we depart for Lenegis.
Except maybe the Mark Howells, but it's fine. Just go.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
We are on the same page.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shionne's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
To infinity and beyond! Oh, this is so beautiful.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea.
Yay!
The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shionne? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though. You too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is, There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched, helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Xion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? Would that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
Alright, let's land on the Death Star.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
Well, there probably are going to.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this Red Woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
Well, actually,
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. A capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna take a break here. It's been fun and all. The what? Gee, look at this. Not complaining. Just counting the obvious. As per usual. It's just a lot's being done. I should look into also into fishing these days here. Like there's a lot here that I can't do in terms of fishing. And I do like to get to it eventually. One time this is better. Plus we're also just still waiting till this round was